Ever since the birth of the stars, gods have always walked among us. And in days long past, days in which even time itself struggles to remember, there was the Celestial War. Every domain that spanned the worlds felt the force of the many gods and goddesses that clashed in brutal and horrifying battles taking place across the entire universe. For many lifetimes, this was existence, and it was all anyone knew. However, deep within the blooming land of Valuria, there dwelled a lord and a lady whose hearts had ached for those who suffered the consequences of such a terrible war. In the hopes of igniting a spark of light, the two had come together to forge the mystical Fukuro Sanctuary, a refuge for those in need of aid and recovery, where both mortals and spirits happily thrived, where the sick and wounded could find reprieve. Soon, Fukuro Sanctuary became the bridge that offered safety and joy to all realms. It was no surprise that eventually one of our Celestials, the Goddess of Life, took notice of the sanctuary. She was so pleased with the young couple's service that they received support and blessings from her to further assist the residents of their home. At the Celestial War's climax, the Goddess of Life blessed the Lord and Lady of Fukuro Sanctuary with their greatest desire: to bear a child. Upon blessing them, the goddess left them a prophecy for the child before leaving to meet her inevitable demise. Time passed after the Great War, and the child born to the couple had grown into a beautiful young woman worthy of the blessing coursing through her. Skin as fair as the light of the goddess herself, golden eyes that radiated brighter than the sun, a streak of heavenly white prominent in her luxurious brown hair. This woman was given the name Kavallera. But even with all her radiance, the words of the prophecy weighed heavily at her heart, as she still did not know how to fulfill it. Sensing their daughter's growing distress, Kavallera's parents took notice of her creative soul and nurtured it with all the love and sincerity they could muster. She would often be away in her studio, pouring her heart into sculpting, often making beautiful human figures so incredible that others could swear they were actually living. Truly, she was an artist like no other in the land of Valuria. Unfortunately, as life often goes, she would be faced with events that would completely devastate her. On a day forever scarred into her memory, while protecting their beloved daughter and home, Kavallera's parents met their untimely demise, leaving her the sole protector of the sanctuary. Consumed with utter grief, she locked herself in her studio, convinced that she was not fit to protect this secret land, and exiled herself from the rest of the world. Devastated and alone, Kavallera coped for years in solemn silence by attempting to sculpt as she once used to. However, no distraction could hide the growing anxiety and aimlessness within. It was when Kavallera finally reached her limit one night that her tears had at last spilled over, releasing her many years of anguish. She cried out loud, sending pleas to gods that she knew were no longer there to save her from her prison of isolation. And that was when a miracle happened. Releasing her sobbing breath onto a sculpture, Kavallera gave life for the very first time. The blessing that was bestowed upon her had finally come to light. She had been blessed with the power to not just create life, but life that could stay by her side forever. An immortal being, just like her. Struck with awe, she studied the now alive figure that she had made with her masterful hands, her tears now cascading out of joy. Kavallera had found the spark she needed to continue on with her eternity, to create life as she was always destined to do, to nurture and take care of her children, her people, and the home she adored. Even now, thousands of years later, she still walks on the very soil we do, and in her abode in the skies, she watches over not only Valuria, but our world and the worlds around us, fulfilling the legacy given to her, creating celestial life and guiding all living beings to happiness. She, as we know today, is Lady Kavalliere, a woman of divine elegance. She is the mother of many, our mother.
Just history. And you might be wondering, well, where is she now? What does she do outside of her so-called divine tasks? Let's get to it, shall we, darling? Yes?